my windshield survey of my rural town, Corinth, New York, in the capital region. This is the main route of transportation, Route 9 North. Taking this road will get you to a hospital or major stores in Saratoga Springs or Glens Falls, New York, Lake George. But it's 15 miles either way. These are mostly one-family homes I see. We've had a lot of constant snow. The roads are pretty good. So the highway department keeps up on that. It's about 3:30, so kids are coming home from school. You don't see anyone walking here. Once in a while in spring and summer, you might see a person or two, but definitely not in the winter. The homes seem pretty well maintained. There's a couple of farms, barns that are still standing. Oh, I take that back. There's somebody walking their dog. I'm sure they live right over here.
Approaching a railroad.
Yeah, there is a freight railroad that goes through this town and several others. We have some old resort campsites. A lot of them are not running anymore. But back in the 60s and 70s, they did. It's pretty popular to come up here for city people. The closed down garage. Here's some more dilapidated housing. There's no mass transit in this town. There it was around 2002 that the train stopped going through. Here's a vet clinic. 2002 there was an International Paper Factory. That was the biggest employer here. That pretty much caused the development of this town. They closed down in 2002. A lot of people had to move. Here we have Great Sacandaga Lake. There are a lot of lakes around here. Lake Luzerne, Lake George, the Hudson River borders this town. But as you see, we're still driving quite a while to get into town where you could get your milk or post office, bank. A lot of people cut their own lumber here and try and sell it. We're coming into town here.
Approaching a railroad crossing.
The railroad crossing again. There's the bus depot for the schools. This is the village. It's a nice modern fire department. Somebody walking their dog. It's a nice big landscaping business. These are still one-family homes. The cleanup of the roads and the sidewalks it doesn't look too great, but it is, because we have literally had snow every day. That's a closed down restaurant. Not looking too great here, these buildings. There might be apartments. Pizza. Cumberland Farms. For your gas. And Stewart's right next to each other. Thank goodness for most people. They're here for your gas. And Staples. This is the center of town. There's a couple banks. There's a church. There was a church on the outside, on the outskirts when we first started this trip. A Presbyterian. This is the one and only grocery store. Tops. It's not really a very popular store. You probably never heard of it. There's a limited selection in there. It's a nice park and a beach here on the lake. Going back up the other main road, past the church we saw before. I haven't seen any medical offices of any sort. Here's another church and another Stewart's. And some more older houses. Look like they probably have some apartments. Let's see. Some teenagers walking. More apartments. More houses. There's one doctor's office. Doctor's working out of his house there. Red Maple Estates. So these are apartments. Middle class apartments. I don't believe this is the low income apartments they made a few years ago. Clearly we see there's a lot of needs in this community. I'm going to say mainly medical. Like I said, yeah, residents have to go at least 15 minutes in either direction to get to Saratoga Springs if they want any choice for buying food, emergency care. Looks like pediatricians, doctors, family planning, x-rays, lab work, anything like that. There are a lot of nice parks. I don't know what they offer in the winter for kids. There are ski resorts in driving distance too, but you know that costs money, quite a bit of money. You really have to drive if you want to live here. Which we know also costs money, so reinstituting the bus and the transportation would be very helpful for a lot of the residents, I'm sure. So that's upstate New York, Corinth, and Saratoga County. Thanks for viewing my windshield survey.